Breathing mechanisms of animals. Mammals, birds and reptiles breathe air through lungs. Breathing in air is called inhalation or inspiration, and breathing out air is called exhalation or expiration. When we inhale, air enters the nose. The tiny hair in the nose filters out dust and other particles. Air then travels down through the windpipe into the lungs. The lungs are soft and spongy. They are enclosed in a bone cage called the ribs. The diaphragm, which is a muscle in the chest, helps draw in air. During inhalation, the ribs move up and out. The diaphragm moves down. The pressure in the lungs decreases and air rushes into the lungs. Inside the lungs, oxygen present in air gets absorbed by the blood, while carbon dioxide leaves the blood. Absorbed oxygen is then carried by the blood to other parts of the body. When we exhale, we breathe out carbon dioxide. The rib cage moves down and in. The diaphragm moves up, thereby building pressure inside the lungs. Carbon dioxide is then pushed out of the lungs. Fish, eels, and tadpoles breathe air underwater. When you see a fish opening and closing its mouth, you are actually seeing it breathe. Instead of lungs, fish and other aquatic animals have a pair of gills. The gills contain filaments. These filaments receive a good supply of blood. Water enters the mouth and passes over the gills. The gills take in oxygen from the water. At the same time, carbon dioxide in the blood passes into the water. The water is then passed out of the gills through the gill slits. Earthworms and amphibians like the frog have very thin permeable skin which allows gases to pass through easily. Blood vessels lie very close to the surface of the skin, so air gets absorbed directly into the blood. On land, frogs breathe through lungs. They are weak and unable to expand much. Cockroaches, mosquitoes, grasshoppers, lice, and ants are some insects. Insects do not have lungs or gills. Their blood does not carry oxygen. Insects have small holes called spiracles. These spiracles are connected to air tubes called the trachea. Air moves into the trachea through spiracles. Trachea is in turn connected to smaller tubes. These tubes are in direct contact with the body cells, so the circulatory system in insects does not play a role in carrying oxygen.